Human Resource Management Strategy, presented by Washington and Associates. Agenda. So what is strategic planning? Why align human resources with business strategy? Barriers to alignment and practical tools. So what is strategic planning? Strategic planning is the process of ensuring that today's activities help to achieve tomorrow's goals. Strategic planning is an organization's process of defining its strategy or direction and making decisions on allocating its resources to pursue this strategy, including its capital and people. In order to effectively align human resource and business strategy together, there must be an overall vision. Human resource must understand the vision of the organization and take the proper steps to implement the vision. Therefore, directions are needed. Not only having that big picture is important, but understanding all the necessary steps and strategies to achieve that particular objective. But for what purpose? Success. By understanding the vision of the company or the department, understanding the directions that are needed and objectives, that will equate to success. Success not only of the department, but also of the organization as a whole. So what is human resource strategic planning? Defines how the organization's goals will be achieved through people by means of HR strategies and integrated HR policies and practices. Having the right people in the right place at the right time, suitably rewarded and engaged to meet or exceed the standards of the job and the needs of the consumer. The HR value proposition. People management solutions tailored to fit the needs of your organization. Why align HR strategy with business strategy? Because of contribution, competition, and cost. Contribution. People are our most important asset. Productivity of employees drive profits. Competition. You do business in a global world. The world of business is changing radically and fast. Did you know? Bank back office transactions are being outsourced from Europe to Saudi Arabia. The most important corporate resource over the next 20 years will be talent. It's also the resource in the shortest supply. Are you ready to fight for your fair share? Did you know? If you're 1 in a million in China, there are 1,500 people just like you. During the course of this presentation, 60 babies will be born in the U.S., 244 babies will be born in China, 351 babies will be born in India. Yet, China will have a severe labor shortage by 2020. Chinese labor shortage drives up wages. Emerging markets with high population growth are not immune to the talent shortage. India, for example, has a growing population but lacks skilled professionals. Malaysia must send out the message they want skilled foreigners to come. Did you know the stabilization of oil and gas and transportation industries have reached roughly 70 to 100% of the workforce? 50 million population by 2050. California needs 108,000 new nurses by 2020. California nursing starting wages in 2008 were $75,000 plus benefits and perks. Costs. Effective people management can reduce costs. Did you know? The cost of human capital, wages, benefits, transportation, visas, subsidiaries, training, typically represents 70% of the typical organization's annual operating budget. Hiring mistakes can be costly. Middle managers cost about 60 months of wages. Executives can cost a company 18 months' wages. CFOs admitted to Forbes that roughly 65% of restructuring activities failed to meet their financial targets during the past 2 decades. The lack of alignment between human resource management and strategic business planning is increasingly acknowledged as a major source of implementation errors. It is alleged that companies develop plans based on extensive marketing and financial data, but neglect the human resource requirement necessary to successfully implement them. What is the strategy disconnect? 60% of typical organizations do not link their strategic priorities to their budgets. 2/3 of HR operations develop strategic plans that are not linked to their organization's strategy. When employees are not engaged, earnings per share decline 11% on average. So what are the barriers to alignment? Poor service, lack of competence, lack of credibility. Developing capability. Listen to your internal customers. Meet their operational needs. Learn about the business. Grow competence. If you can't demonstrate you're effective, you're invisible. Best practices. Analyze, understand, innovate. Alignment tools, business context, outcomes, HR redesign, accountability. Business context. It is important for HR to conduct a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis. Each letter in SWOT stands for word. S for strength, W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. So HR representatives will have a box for each word. They will identify corresponding with the category what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats that they are facing. Structured interviews. It is important that HR representatives and other executives get together and identify top objectives for the year, as well as problems or barriers that may hinder accomplishments. Outcomes. HR performance benchmarking. Be prepared to look outside your industry and operational unit. Be aware of current best practice concerns and use sound methodology. HR Redesign, linking vision to objectives. In this particular chart on this slide, you will see at the top of the page vision statement. So for your particular company, there should be a vision statement. And you're going to look at the vision statement, identify keywords. And for all keywords, you're going to have a column, letter A, B, C, D, and therefore how many you need. The columns highlighted identifies those keywords or vision elements. And directly under that, you want to have the definitions or the standards for that particular category. And under that, you're going to have objectives. What are your objectives to achieve those particular elements, vision elements? Accountability. According to Kirkpatrick 4-level evaluation model, you're going to make a chart, and then you're going to have different levels, levels 1 through 4. Level 1 being the lowest level, level 4 the highest level. Level 1, evaluation type, reaction. An example could be a post-session assessment. After you have implemented a certain program, you're going to assess that. HR will assess that to see how well it's going. Level 2, learning. You want to make sure that the program you implemented or policy that's implemented, there's a learning objective. Someone is learning from it. Also, this is going to be conducted through post-session testing of knowledge gain, skill mastery, behavioral process improvement. HR will conduct that. Level 3, transfer. Were there any transfer of skills? This is an on-the-job assessment of skills, knowledge, and behavioral process improvement. HR and also management will conduct that. Level 4 is impact. Evaluate the impact of the new program or policy on the firm. HR, managers, as well as other specialists can conduct this.